Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with news from Haiti. Thousands of doctors, nurses, and other health professionals across Haiti have gone on strike to protest a spike in gang-related kidnappings as supporters burned tires and blocked roads. The three-day strike that began on Monday shut down public and private health institutions in the capital of Port-au-Prince and beyond, with only emergency rooms accepting patients. The kidnappings of the two doctors spooked the staff at Port-au-Prince General Hospital, where union workers gathered on Tuesday and said conditions have become increasingly dysfunctional since the July 7 killing of President Jovenel Moise. They accused the administration of Prime Minister Ariel Henry of not releasing sorely needed funds to the Ministry of Health for basic services, adding that they were worried about the lack of security. Kidnappings in Haiti increased 180% in the past year, with 655 of them reported to police, according to a mid-February report by the United Nations Security Council. Authorities believe the numbers is much higher since many kidnappings go unreported. The Prime Minister has pledged to crack down on the spiking gang violence and kidnappings, with the U.S. and other countries pledging resources and training to help an understaffed, underfunded police force. In Guatemala, Guatemala's Congress has shelved a law which would have prohibited same-sex marriage and raised the prison sentences for women seeking abortion. It had been approved by an overwhelming majority of lawmakers just last week. The U-turn came after Guatemala's President Alejandro Giammattei threatened to veto the law. President Giammattei said it violated Guatemala's constitution and the international agreements it is a signatory to. Abortion is banned in Guatemala except in cases where the woman's life is at risk. The new law would have more than tripled the jail time for women seeking one outside of that limited scope. It would also have reformed Guatemala's civil code to expressly prohibit same-sex marriages. Schools would have been banned from teaching pupils that anything other than heterosexuality is normal. The law caused outrage among rights groups after it was passed on March 8, International Women's Day, with more than 100 votes in favor and just 8 against. We end tonight's regional news by providing an update on the Russian-Ukraine situation. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, on Wednesday ordered Russia to cease military actions in Ukraine immediately in a preliminary decision in a case brought by Kyiv. The judges added that Russia must also ensure that other forces under its control or supported by Moscow should not continue the military operation. Although the court's rulings are binding, it has no direct means of enforcing them, and in rare cases, countries have ignored them in the past. Ukraine filed its case shortly after Russia's invasion began on February 24, saying that Russia's apparent justification that it was acting to prevent a genocide in eastern Ukraine was unfounded. At the hearings, Ukraine said there is no threat of genocide in eastern Ukraine, and the United Nations 1948 Genocide Convention, which both countries have signed, does not allow an invasion to prevent one. Russia said it skipped World Court hearings on March 7 in light of apparent absurdity of the lawsuit. However, Moscow did file a written document with the court saying that the ICJ should not impose any measures. In an urgent situation such as the conflict in Ukraine, the court can order emergency measures in a matter of days, even before it decides on whether it has jurisdiction in a case. That usually takes many months, while decisions on the actual merits of a case takes years. And that concludes tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching. Good night.